Hello, guitar people. I think the last thing the internet needs is yet another Harley Benton review, and I'm not really wanting to do that. But this guitar is different in that it's got a 1 and 7/8 inch nut width. So it's something pink finger pickers really tend to gravitate toward wider nut widths because you start, especially playing quick chords up and down the neck, which finger picking's all about chords. When they're coming at you fast and furious, it's nice to have a little more room on the fretboard. And everyone from, you know, Jerry Reed to Chet Atkins, Richard Thompson, Buster Jones, Phil Kagi, James Taylor, just on and on is a list of guys that like a wider nut width. Some of them went to nylon string because they were so readily available. To find one with this nut width in an acoustic guitar, man, I've been looking for a few years now. And Taylor used to offer most of their guitars with that nut width for an extra $200. Now they've gone to just doing that with their most expensive ones, as far as I can tell. I've searched their website pretty good. So anyway, it was a real challenge trying to find one that was in my price range. I'm really on a limited budget because this is something I just wanted to have. For any serious finger picking, I use a nylon string Godin. You probably see me play it. But this is just for vocal accompaniment, and I don't sing very much. I'm not a good singer at all. I like to write, though. So I just sing good enough to present a song to somebody else that can sing. And anyway, I like to tune down a lot because I got a pretty low voice. And most guitars, you'll see a Taylor 314. I played in some videos. That guitar I could tune down a half step, and that was about it. You get below that, and it just turned to mud. This guitar, I actually, in this last little piece I played there, in fact, that is a vocal tune. That's why it's so simple. I was tuned all the way down 2 whole steps to where your E strings become C strings, and it still sounds great. I mean, the bass is especially just nice and full, and it's just everything you can want. So I can't get over it. These things, there's something. I got this one cheap as a factory second. Let me show you what is wrong. You can see the finish. Certain places there on the sides. It's just on the sides. And it's under the gloss. And somehow this happened, after it left the factory, I guess. There's a little bit on this side, though not too bad. And you can see I replaced the pickup with an Anthem, LR Baggs Anthem. It comes with a Fishman Sonocore, which is just not a good pickup. The only thing they're good for is a trash can, in my opinion. But anyway, yeah, so I've got a $300 pickup and a $200 guitar. But it suits me. It works for me. It does what I need it to do. And even with the case was $75. This guitar sells for $219 right now. I think they've come down in price a little bit because I'm pretty sure I saw $239 on their website for a while. And I got this one for $198 because it was a blemished guitar. But the only thing I find wrong with it, the side dots, the little side markers, are really small, just like Washburn. That's why I think a lot of people compare these to Washburns because they both have the side, the small dots. And they may very well have come out of the same factory in China. The only other thing is the bridge. These, the bridge pins are kind of flat. They're not the rounded ones that are easier to get out. These flat ones, it's hard to get under them with something to get them out. And the bridge itself is kind of big and bulky, and it has a really deep saddle slot. And when you replace that Sonocore with an LR Baggs, the LR Baggs element is thinner. So you have to cut a new saddle. And trying to find a saddle somewhere that was tall enough, because I didn't want to have to cut one from a blank if I could help it. It was challenging finding one that was tall enough to fit down in the slot and still, give me some room to work with. I did find one eventually. But anyway, and the tuners, they could be better, but they hold a tune fine. Once you get there, they'll stay in tune. It's just it's a little more work getting there with them. Otherwise, I would say the high strings are maybe a little thin sounding if you're using a pick, trying to do some flat picking. I wouldn't flat pick on a auditorium guitar body anyway. I'd use a dreadnought for flat picking. But for finger picking, it sounds great. And like I said, I can tune down 2 whole steps with this thing. And this still sounds full and wonderful. It's the only guitar I've ever had I could do that with. Ever. So, Anyway, it's a beautiful guitar. It's walnut, it's spruce. I've had it a few months now because I want to see how the neck would settle, because I think it's called okume or something like that. The neck is not a well-known neck material for, especially for good guitars. Sometimes you see it in real cheap classical guitars. So I want to see how it would hold up, and so far it's held up really good. Now I'm always tuned down at least a whole step or 2 steps. That's 2 frets or 4 frets. I almost never play in standard tuning on this. I keep my classical guitar, my Godin is in standard tuning. If I want to use standard tuning for something, I just use that. So anyway, that's all I want to say. This is kind of a finger-picking guitar for the rest of us as far as I'm concerned. If you can't afford, have a $3,000 or $4,000 guitar, this thing fits the bill really well, I think. That's it.